praise, every praise is to our God. Missionary Shade is coming at this time. And every praise is to our God. Come on and give the Lord another hand of praise. In Jesus' name. Oh, yes.
To our God. Every word of worship.
be seated. Again, we're blessed to be in the house once again. And we thank God for allowing us to enter into a new season, new year. And we thank God for His mercy, His grace being extended unto us. That's the reason why we lift our hands. That's the reason why we give Him praise, because of what He did for us. He didn't have to do it, but He did. Especially sending His Son to die for our sins. He had great love for us, and we appreciate Him for it. We also thank God for those of you who are tuning in, watching by television. Some of you may be watching right now by Facebook. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Pentecostal Revival Hour here at the Lizella Pentecostal Church. And we do invite everyone, if you ever are in the Central Georgia area, to feel free to come and be a part of our services. Don't come just to look around, but come to be an active participant in our services. And upon doing so, you will get something out of our service. And we are here at the Lizella Pentecostal Church. Our address is 7545 Knoxville Road, Lizella, Georgia. And as I say all the time, everyone is invited, regardless of your race, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your religious affiliation. Everyone is invited to come and be in on these services. And we have services every Sunday at all three of our church locations, beginning with Sunday school at 9 a.m. And we encourage as many of you as possible to get in on the Sunday school classes, because this is where you will learn more, because you have an opportunity to share your ideas, to express your points. Everyone has a chance to discuss the lesson for that day, and that's when you learn more. You can ask questions, whereas in a typical church service, you don't have that opportunity. Sometimes the minister may be preaching in a service, and you may have a question about what they're preaching about. And you can't just stop the service whenever the word is going forth. But in our Sunday school classes, you have an opportunity to stop the class. If you have a problem or issue with something that's being presented, you can voice your thoughts and ideas. And we help and learn from one another in our Sunday school classes. And usually at the end of Sunday school, our children all come forth. And sometimes in their presentation, they bring out some things that we adults haven't thought about. And so again, we encourage everyone to come to Sunday school. After Sunday school, we're going to our morning worship. Again, this is at all three church locations. And it begins at 11 a.m. In our morning service, everyone is free to testify, to tell of the goodness of the Lord, to even tell of some ideas or situations that may have occurred in their lives that can help someone else. And when our testimony served this morning, boy, we had it going on up in here. I know it's the first of the year and everything, but yeah, we had church with our testimony served this morning. So again, we just thank God. Again, we encourage everybody to get in on that. You can share your experience with God in our morning service. Everyone is free to express their thoughts and ideas. If you have a problem situation, you can bring it out. And we help one another. That's what we believe in doing in this ministry. Someone may have gone through the exact same situation that you are going through, but you can't hear the solution that they had unless you present the problem. You know, so again, that's what happens in our morning service. Then we all convene here at the Lázaro location every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. And this is what you are viewing. This is when the choir comes together. The word goes forth. We give God praise. We shout, dance. We thank him for what he has done. And as I say, everybody's invited. Don't be ashamed to come in these services. And our address here is 7545 Knoxville Road, Lázaro, Georgia. And if you have GPS, just enter that address into your GPS. And it will get you here. Most everyone nowadays has a cell phone. And on most of your cell phones, you have an app with navigation on it. If you put that address into your cell phone, it will get you to any of our locations. Our mailing address is 7697 Knoxville Road, Lázaro, Georgia, zip code 31052. We do want to let everyone know that we do have media of our telecast and broadcasts, and that media is available, CDs and DVDs. They are available by request. If you desire this one, the one that you are viewing, contact us and let us know. Give the operator the number that's on your screen, and you will receive this one. Now, the main question that people ask is, how much is it? We do not put a charge on any of our media, but we do request that after you receive it, that you consider that there is a cost in production, shipping, and handling, and in sending a donation of how the Lord has blessed you. That's the way the apostle set it up, because if you put a charge on something, a lot of people may be left off. They just don't have it. But if you do it the way that we're doing it, then everybody has an opportunity. And you know, the Bible tells you the strong bear the infirmity of the weak. Those who have and are able to contribute, that help to cover those who doesn't. And so that's the way that this ministry has functioned. That's the way we're going to continue to function. And so again, we thank God. If you notice through our broadcast, we don't bombard you with sales. We don't do any fundraising in this ministry. We don't sell plates. We don't sell cakes. We don't wash cars. We don't do anything to raise money. If you look in the Bible, you don't see no one in the Bible that Jesus sent out to raise money for him. No one. When they needed money, Jesus told them to go get it out the fish mouth. So again, so that's the way that Apostle Phelps set it up at the beginning, and that's the way we are continuing to function. And God has blessed us. He has allowed us to carry on this ministry. If you notice, we have a nice facility. Don't have a whole lot of people, but we thank God for the people that we do have. And so again, we just thank God again for him being so wonderful to us. I do encourage everyone to go to our church website. The web address is www.lazarochurch.com. Once there, we encourage you to go through all the various pages on the website. The most important page on the website is the tracts page. That's where we have several writings of the founder of this ministry, Apostle Albert Phelps. They are available at the website. So go there and check those tracts out. And upon doing so, you will have a good idea of how we have been taught and how we are continuing to teach. We also have a page dedicated to our staff, youth ministry, choir, and maps and addresses. If you need addresses to our sister churches, there is a page there for that. In fact, you can get directions generated on your device from our web page. using the maps and addresses page. So again, we just thank God for what he has done. And the main focus of our ministry is to lead people to Jesus. And so if you need prayer, most definitely if you want to be saved, you should call us while this telecast is on. We normally broadcast from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. So if you call in that time window, most likely you will speak to someone. However, if you call at another time, you will be going to voicemail. And if you leave a voice message, especially that Sunday evening, most likely we will return your call. But if we don't, we will return your call the following Sunday. So again, we just thank God for how good he has been to us. We hope and pray that he's been good to you too. And now this time we're going to call for our devotional leader to render more praise unto the Lord. This time the devotional leader is coming. Give him praise.
Praise God, he's worthy to be praised. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. As I walk through the doors, I sense his presence, and I knew this was a place where love abides.
Repeat after me. This is my Bible. I am what it says that I am. I believe what it says to believe. I come to the Lizella Pentecostal Church to be taught the Word of God. I will not serve the devil. I will not live in sin. Jesus Christ died for my sins. And the blood of Jesus cleanses me from all sin. I am Christ-like. I am born again. I have power over the devil. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Amen again. Let's give the Lord another hand of praise. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. If you will, just bow your heads right where you are. Dear Heavenly Father, we give you glory, honor, praise, and worship. Thank you for yet another chance to come before you and also for your people. And Lord, we pray as we go into your word tonight, that it be a word for the save of encouragement, to let them know that with you, they are unstoppable. Lord, we pray for the sinner, that they see the need of you being in their lives as we go forward. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's give the Lord another hand of praise. Amen. Hallelujah. Oh, yes, you may be seated. Again, we're blessed to be in the house again. All right. The Lord has been good to us. He has given us all favor. Many people desire to be where you are tonight, those of you who are in the house. Some people are not able to go to church. Some people are in hospitals. They're in homes. They're in mental institutions. They are in prisons. But the Lord has been so merciful to every one of us that he allowed us to walk in those doors tonight. Allowed us to come into the house once again. And so again, we just thank him for doing that in our lives. I also want to give credit and honor where it is due to the founder of this ministry, Apostle Albert Phelps. Thank God for him. We are continuing in his legacy. And we thank God for him getting saved. And for him allowing the Lord to use him. Because if he had not gotten saved, most of us in here tonight, we wouldn't be saved. But the Lord used him. And he enabled him to deliver a message to all of us, for us to see that we needed Jesus in our lives. I also want to thank God for our senior pastor being here this evening, co-founder. We thank God for her being blessed. And again, for her being in the house, continuing to lead this ministry. We also thank God for the pastor of the Fort Valley Forsyth Pentecostal Church, Pastor Willie Wooten. Along with Sister Betty, we thank God for her being here. We thank God for Pastor of the Fort Valley Pentecostal Church, Pastor Lizzie Dinner. Along with Sister Pastor Melvin Dinner. Thank God for them being here in the house this evening. Also thank God for Sister Pastor Walton being in the house. Thank God for my sister, Pastor Sanford DeShazier. Along with his lovely wife, Missionary DeShazier. Thank God for all the other ministers of the gospel, all the deacons, saints, and friends. Again, we thank God for everybody being here. If we go ahead and open your Bibles up to 1 Samuel, we're going to be looking at a few verses in chapter 16. And the title for our message this evening is, Once Anointed, Let Nothing Stop You. once anointed, let nothing stop you. I'm going to give you a little bit of background information on what was going on at this time. Children of Israel had a king by the name of Saul. And Saul had been given a job to go out and to destroy all of the Amalekites. But when the time came, Saul did not do everything. Because the commandment was to kill all. The people, the animals, and everything. But when Saul got down there and saw that the sheep was good, and he saved them. Even saved the king. And as a result of his disobedience, Saul lost his anointing. He had been anointed to be king. But he lost his anointing. And God told the prophet to go find someone else. And this is what he did. If you in your spare time, you can read this whole chapter in chapter 16. But Samuel found his way down to Jesse's house. And the Lord had delivered a word unto him that the next one to be anointed was going to come from the house of Jesse. Now Jesse began to think, well, I'm going to get my eldest sons. All my good boys.
Come on. Hallelujah.
And they were brought forth. And all of them were declined.
Come on. Preach.
And so it got to the point where Samuel began to ask, Jesse, do you have another son?
Come on. Hallelujah.
See, Jesse wasn't even thinking about David.
All right now, come on. Hallelujah.
See, David was out in the field at this time. So Jesse called for David. And as soon as Samuel saw David, he knew that David was the one. We're going to begin reading verse 11, 1 Samuel chapter 16. And it reads, and Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ready, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is he. So we see where David was brought in. Handsome man. Handsome young man. And so he was anointed. Now I'm quite sure at this time, David didn't really understand what was going on. But he was chosen. And let's see what happens as soon as David was anointed. Read 13 says, then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel arose and went to Ramah. So now upon being anointed, the Spirit of the Lord came upon David. Let's read on down into 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. So we see here now where one has gained the Spirit of the Lord, and we see where another has lost. See, even though you may be anointed, you can lose your anointing. The Lord can give your anointing to someone else. Okay, so now David now has the Spirit of the Lord upon him. And Saul had an evil spirit. No, it wasn't from the devil, but it was from the Lord. And it troubled him. Now, whenever this evil spirit would come upon Saul, he would get mean. Sometimes we wonder why people in our association. Sometimes you don't know what's wrong with them. But they just get mean. Sometimes in our house, in our homes. Sometimes people just get mean. Because an evil spirit from the Lord has come upon them. So now this is what is going on with Saul. And so read on down verse 16, saying, let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player on an harp, and it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite. Now they don't know that this man's already been anointed. I have seen a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite that is cunning in playing, and a mighty, valiant man, and a man of war, and prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David, his son, unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. Now look, here this shepherd boy now has been brought in to Saul whenever he goes into his fit to play music in order to soothe him. And over time they begin to form a relationship. And Saul gets so close to him to, I want him to be my armor bearer. All right? And Saul said to Jesse, saying, let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. So whenever Saul would get down, depressed, have what we call the blues, get mad, they would call David in. They would come in with some nice soothing music, and Saul would calm down. And that evil spirit would depart from him. All right, so now we know that David is anointed. There arose a situation. We're going to go on over into chapter 17. And as I was saying in our title, whenever you are anointed, don't let no one stop you. Okay? I'm going to skip down to verse 4 in chapter 17. It reads, and there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam. and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not a Philistine? And ye servants to Saul. Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then we will be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now, we see here now where the Philistines have come. And they have a champion. And he comes forth and he comes with a deal. He said, I'm the best man in my country. You send the best man in yours. And we're going to fight to the death. And if we win, you serve us. And if your man wins, we'll serve you. Now Goliath wasn't just a regular man, but he was a giant. He was a big man. He was a big, strong man. He was a man who'd been fighting all his life. And so the men of Israel, along with Saul, they were afraid. Did no one want to go out? No one wanted a piece of this. Not only were they risking their lives, but they were risking the life of everybody in the nation. Because whoever lost was going to be a servant. The nation. So no one wanted that pressure to have to deal with all that. All right, so David in the meantime is back with his father. And his father sends him on a quest to take some food to his brothers, because his three elder brothers were in the army. And so not only was David to send them food, but he was to go up there and see how things were going and to see how his brothers were doing, to bring a report back to his father. All right? Amen. So now let's go on down and see. Now, along with David was some food sent. And when he got there, let's jump on down to verse 20. Says, and David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight, and shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brother. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. Now this time, when he was making his boast, David heard it. Verse 24 says, and all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, they fled from him and were so afraid. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up, and it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. So now here comes the deal. Since Saul didn't have anyone to go up, he began to swing He said, now if you go up and you kill this man, I'm going to pay you.
That's right now. Come on.
Not only am I going to pay you with riches,
All right.
you're going to be able to marry my daughter.
All right.
Not only am I going to allow you to marry my daughter, but I'm going to release your family from taxes.
All right. Come on.
Your family's going to be free. Your father's house is going to be free in Israel.
That's right.
Verse 28 says, and David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? So look at David. When he heard this, who is this? See, he didn't have any fear. Then what he called uncircumcised Philistine. Who is he that he's going to defy the armies of God?
Hallelujah.
See, David knew who was backing Israel. God was backing Israel. Verse 27 says, and the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know that pride and the naughtiness of thy heart. For thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. So his brother began to tell David, what you come down here for?
Come on now.
You supposed to be back there watching them few sheep. Like David is not doing anything or hasn't been doing anything. I know what you came. You just came to see. See, you can't let people block you. Even if it's your family member. When you have been anointed, you can't let negative talk stop you in fulfilling the will of God. Look what David said. And David said, verse 29, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? David said, well, somebody need to be doing something. Everybody around here scared. Somebody ought to do something. Verse 30, he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner, and the people answered him again after the former manner. And when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. So now, David was ready to fight.
All right, come on.
He was not afraid. So word got back to Saul that, hey, we may have someone here that's not afraid. So Saul sent for him. Verse 32 says, and David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. Don't nobody be scared because of him. I'll go and fight him. And then verse 33 says, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Now before you get ready to fight your giant, you have to be prepared. See, David had already had some experience in this thing. David had already faced some bad situations in keeping his father's sheep. See, there was a time when a lion and a bear came up. sheep. And David went after him. And David said, I hit him.
Hallelujah.
Got the sheep back. And when he turned at me, I hit him again.
All right.
And I killed him. See, David was prepared. See, a lot of times we as Christians, we want to go out and jump up on some giants. But we hadn't fought a lion yet. We want to go jump up at the top of the scale.
Amen.
But we hadn't went through and had some small battles yet. See, David was already prepared for Goliath.
All right. Come on. Hallelujah.
Let me know that. Verse 36 says, thy servant slew both the lion and the bear.
All right now. Come on.
And this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, meaning dead. Seeing he had defied the armies of the living
All
God.
right. Come on.
See, David knew what power
Hallelujah.
he had backing him. He knew that he was not fighting this battle by himself. But he had the power of God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Plus, he had been anointed.
Hallelujah, Jesus.
Okay?
That's right.
All right now.
37 says, David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the power of the lion
Amen.
and out of the power of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine.
All right now.
And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. So after David told Saul of his past experience,
All right now. Come on.
of how he was victorious.
All right.
Saul didn't have anything else to say, but go ahead
All
on.
right now. Come on.
And the Lord be with you.
Hallelujah.
Verse 38 says, and Saul armed David with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail, and David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it, meaning that he had not tested it. So they began to fix David up. David had not been in the military.
All right. Come on.
David was not used to this gear. See, Saul and his men were trying to prepare David with their resources.
Hallelujah.
David was not used to this kind of stuff. David began, let me finish reading the whole thing. He said, I ain't proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. I mean, I hadn't tested this. And David put them off him. So they began to put all this armor on him. And I'm quite sure it slowed him down. He couldn't move freely.
Amen.
David said, I can't wear this.
Amen. Hallelujah.
I'm going out to fight this giant. I have to make this my fight. Sometimes you tell people of your situation, what you're going through, and they try to make the fight be their fight. What they would do. But David said, I can't wear this. All this stuff gonna do is slow me down. Now some of y'all used to fight.
That's right. Amen.
Hopefully it's used to.
That's right. Used to. All right now. Used to.
And sometimes if you are small and you're fighting with someone who is bigger than you,
All right.
You have to use whatever your advantage is
That's right.
in that fight.
Amen.
Usually with a smaller person, their advantage is quickness.
That's right. That's right.
I'm a big guy. If I were to get in the ring with Floyd Mayweather,
All right.
he probably hit me 5-10 times before I hit him one.
Yeah.
You too. You get in the ring with him
Yeah.
because he quick.
That's right.
Amen.
So David knew that he was fighting a giant.
That's right.
So he needed to be loose and free.
All right.
He couldn't fight Goliath's fight. He had to make the fight be his fight. See, if we fighting against the devil, we can't fight the devil's fight. We got to turn the fight into our fight. We got to change the terms
That's it.
Yeah.
Amen.
in order for it to be advantageous to us.
That's right. Amen.
So this is what David did.
Yeah.
All right now.
Hallelujah.
So here he is. Told him, I can't wear this stuff.
Amen.
Let's see what he did. In verse 4, they say he took his staff. See, this way he used to.
That's right.
He took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. So he didn't have any armor on. All he had were those 5 smooth stones and his sling and a pouch
Come on now.
for those stones to go in.
All right. Come on.
See, David had an idea.
All right.
He knew how to fight this giant. Again, he couldn't fight the giant on the giant terms.
Come on now.
That's right.
If we have giants in our life, we can't fight our giant
Come on now.
on the giant terms.
That's right. That's right.
Come on.
Amen.
Preach.
So he knew that all the armor wasn't going to be to his benefit.
Amen. Amen.
And so, as he drew near to the Philistine, verse 41 says, the Philistine came on and drew near to David. And the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ready and of a fair countenance. So he was young and pretty. He was young, he wasn't no rough looking, some folks just look like they've been fighting.
Come on. Yeah.
Right.
Some folks look rough. Look like they've been fighting all their life.
Amen.
But David looked like he ain't never been in a fight in his life. Didn't have all them bumps and bruises on his face. Skin was all smooth. So when Goliath saw him,
Come on now.
verse 43 said, and the Philistine said unto David, am I a dog, that thou comest to me with staves or sticks?
Amen.
But David had his staff. And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field. So Philistine, old Goliath, told David, come on. He thought it was going to be easy. I'm going to give your body to the beasts of the field and the fowls of the air. But see, when you have the Lord at your behind back and you can say something too. So again, Goliath had issued out his threat. Let's see what David said. Verse 45, then said David to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. David said, this day. You think you're going to kill me? But I'm not going to, your body's not going to be the only one to deliver here. It's going to be a whole lot of your brothers. A whole lot of your people going to lose their life. I'm going to take your head off. I'm going to take your head off. He was not afraid. He said this with power. He meant what he said. Verse 47 says, all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. Again, see, he turned the fight. The fight wasn't going to be about the sword and the spear.
Come on now. Hallelujah.
See, the Lord was going to do this fight. The battle was going to be the Lord. And he's going to give you into our hands. Verse 48 says, and it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. So when they made Goliath all mad now. Well, he got up and he began to run toward David. Quite sure he thought David was going to run from him. But David began to run towards him. I'm not afraid of you. So he hasted and ran to meet him. And while he was running, in verse 49 said, David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk deep, sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So while David was running towards him, he reached into his bag and he began to sling that sling. He said, come on, get a little bit closer. Come on, get a little bit closer. Get in range. All I need you to do is get in range. And as soon as Goliath got in range, he slung that sling, let that stone go. The only part of Goliath that was uncovered was his forehead. He had a helmet on. Had a breastplate on. Had an arm on his arm. On his legs and his feet. Only thing exposed was his forehead. And by him being a big man, I'm quite sure he had a big head. And when that stone contacted his head, he fell on his face. He was knocked out. Okay?
Yes.
Read on, verse 50. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. See, he didn't need all that armor.
Come on.
He didn't even need a sword. Because you know what he's going to use? Goliath's sword. Right? So again, he prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
That's right.
Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine. This dude was so big that you could stand on him. He stood on it and took his sword, talking about Goliath, and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. They began to run. And the men of Israel and Judah arose and shouted. Now they were scared. But whenever they saw what David did, and how the giant was dead, they ready to fight, huh? Yeah, they want to fight. So they shout and pursue the Philistines until thou come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron, and the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Shearom, even unto Gath, even and unto Ekron. And so again, they begin to chase him. They begin to have victory. Everybody ready to fight now. Before Goliath was dead, then nobody wanted to fight. You know, that's how people are. Like I say, some of y'all used to fight back in the day. And sometimes people start fights and things thinking that folk gonna fight with them. Yeah. They scared. But then after they see that the fight is turned in your favor, then they want to go come put a lick in. So y'all know y'all used to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. You get in a fight, look like you lose, look like your partner losing, you don't want no part of that. But it look like your partner winning, then you want to go steal a lick. That's how people do. But David was not, again, afraid. After he was anointed, he didn't have any fear. He didn't allow his brothers. His brother tried to talk about it. What you up here for? You up here just to look. He didn't let Saul, whenever Saul wanted to put all that armor on him. Again, I can't fight this on Goliath's turn. He's a champion at that. I got to turn this thing another way. I got to fight it to my advantage. So whenever you in your fight with your giant, don't try to fight it on the giant turn. You got to figure out a way to make the fight be to your advantage. Where your strengths are. And this is what he did. He was victorious. And so again, whenever the anointing is on you, in your life, don't let nobody or nothing deter you from the anointing that God has placed in your life. So again, I hope everyone got something out of our message this evening. And the Lord is good. If he can do it for David, he can do it for us. But we got to be the kind of person that David was. He was a man that loved the Lord. He was a man that sung praise while he was keeping his father's sheep. He would sing praise out there in the desert all by himself in the sheep. A lot of those songs that he wrote were written when he was out keeping his father's flock.
Hallelujah.
So he had a relationship with God. And if you ever get to where you have a relationship with God, he'll be there for you. And he will give you the wisdom to know how to fight whatever fight you have in your life. So again, we thank God for the word. Hopefully everyone got something out of it.